Hey everyone, welcome to our latest TDR Trade Black podcast. I'm your host, Shad Dales. Ohio, big news, adult use. It's set to go live in a matter of days. So, as we still tend to focus on this industry, we want to look at some of the projected leaders and including Ascend Wellness. I know a lot of you have been reaching out to us asking questions about that, but we want to learn more as to why they're projected to be one of the leaders in Ohio. So, let's welcome in TDR co-host Anthony Varrell along with Ascend Wellness CEO, which trades on the CSC under the ticker symbol AAWH.U. John Hartmann, back to the podcast. Good to see you. How are things?
Great to see you, Shad. Great to see you, Anthony. Thanks for having me this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate it. A lot of stuff that you've been working on. I know there's some expansion last week with news pertaining to Pennsylvania. We'll get into that actually a little bit later, but wanted to focus obviously on Ohio. This is set to go live any day now. This is going to be a big growth state market. We've talked about it a lot. You actually are one of the projected four companies to be an industry leader. So when we look at this market, like how highly competitive is it going to be? And most importantly, what should investors be paying attention to closely when it comes to your story and being, I guess, viewed as a market leader right now?
Yes, I think the starting point for us is the size of the market. So we're very excited about the pending flip. It's a state of about 9 million adults, so it's a sizable market. Ohio has reported a very strong medical market, leading up to the
Yeah.
pending adult flip at about $500 million a year in medical cannabis sales last year. So we think early days of adult use could be anywhere in that two-ish to 2.5
Yeah.
times medical sales. And with our now 5 dispensaries in the state, we're very excited about getting started.
When you look, I guess it's $2 billion. Like, what is the expected growth, when you combine actually recreational and medicinal? Have you looked at those numbers?
Yeah, we have. We are basing our view on the past adult use flips that the company has gone through. So in New Jersey, and then most recently, just 1 year ago, we went through the adult use flip in Maryland. We acquired 4 dispensaries in
Yeah.
mid-April last year. We prepared those dispensaries in a very short period of time, and they opened for the adult use go live on July 1st. So just really 1 year ago. And we've seen a very nice 2 to 2.5 times lift from the prior run rate of medical sales in those dispensaries. So we're expecting something similar in Ohio.
Hmm.
This is your 6th adult use conversion market within the footprint out of the 7 markets that you're in. You're in other lucrative markets such as Illinois, Michigan, Maryland. What would you comp Ohio to as far as another adult use market that's currently online, within or outside of your current portfolio?
Anthony, that's the $2 billion question for the state of Ohio. I think that past experience does not absolutely predict the future. We feel that 2 to 2.5 times uplift is kind of right what we're expecting in the first 6 months. And the reason we have some relative confidence about the state of Ohio is we've added we're up to 5 dispensaries in the state now. We have from a location perspective, we're in the northern part of the state, we're in the central part of the state, and we're in the southern part of the state. And we're in both urban and suburban / rural-ish areas. And so we think we have a nice blend of locations across those 5. And of course, very excited about our Cincinnati flagship store, which is in downtown Cincinnati. It is a phenomenal location that our team identified and built a beautiful store there. We're excited for recreational. We're excited for recreational customers to experience the new store. It's literally right on the parking lot of the Hard Rock Hotel, Casino, and Convention Center in downtown. So if you're standing at the front of the dispensary and you're looking out away from the dispensary, that's your view is the Hard Rock and the Convention Center. So very exciting location.
And I know there's been a lot of conversation around the levels of the licenses and the overall structure within the state. The license that you guys hold, is it level 1? Is it level 2? And do you have the ability to get to that 8 cap within the market?
Yeah, there's actually been as recently the last 24 hours, there's been a lot of discussion around licensing and the regulatory approach. And so I'm gonna curtail my comments specifically as we
Okay.
await the final word from the state on how those licenses will roll out. I don't want to presume, but there is an expectation that current license holders would be entitled to additional licenses, and
Okay.
we're waiting patiently for the
Yeah.
final word from the state on that. There's been some, I'd say, lack of clarity over the last 24 hours that I think we're all waiting to have cleared up. But with those, we do currently operate a modest sized grow in the state. We are fully vertically integrated. In addition to the grow, we have a production facility, a separate production facility also licensed, as well as the 5 stores. We are working on siting additional real estate should the expectation for the additional licenses come through as we expect, and then we would execute on that as soon as the regulatory body allows us to.
Okay.
John, how'd you land that location, the Hard Rock Casino in Cincinnati? It seems like a very impressive. Saw your eyes light up, but that location seems to be a pretty impressive one. And do you see a lot of Kentucky people like making, I guess, the John over once they're tired of Mitch McConnell and his hemp stories of coming over to Ohio and seeing what the true opportunity is, because that's a heck of a town, especially in the summertime.
Yeah, it's terrific. And look, at all the credit goes to our team. One of the things that I continue to share pride on is the team's ability to identify great real estate locations, and
Yeah,
that plays into. I'm often asked, why does Ascend have the highest per store average retail sales in the country? And the answer
Yeah.
for that is, great, citing great stores. Is every store a thumper? No, they're not. But when the team is intensely focused on identifying great sites, getting great, structured real estate deals, and then when you put really good product at a fair price into those locations,
yeah.
customers respond, and that's been the Ascend track record.
So do you think that's the key reason? Like, look, there's 4 companies that are projected to be market leaders, as I've said earlier. You're one of them. So location is key at everything. Would you safe to say that, right now, the locations that you have are probably the most lucrative ones or one of the most lucrative ones amongst, the competition within the market as to why you're being viewed as a market leader right now?
Chad, I think it's a combination of things. I do believe that location is a critical part, being where there's an established customer base in the original medical market, and being able to build on that with a sizable population in those markets from the adult use perspective is certainly a big important part of it. But as I mentioned, I think product and price are also critical.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the track record that Ascend has in its we are a company that's about 2/3 retail and 1/3 wholesale. And in our important wholesale markets like Illinois, New Jersey, and Massachusetts, we've achieved the third position in terms of brand sales across our brand portfolio of Ozone and Simply Herb products. So what that indicates to me is that we're cultivating, producing, and then pricing products that are attractive to 3 distinctly different markets from a wholesale perspective, and support the vertical integration supporting our own retail stores in those markets, 10 in Illinois, 3 in both New Jersey and Massachusetts. So I think the combination of that tells the story that the customers are visiting our dispensaries and buying
Yeah.
our products, and our customers are visiting our partner dispensaries and buying our products there as well.
Yeah.
Do you see I mean, you've had success when it comes to wholesale in the other major markets that you're in. Do you see wholesale being a integral component of the Ohio story, especially as it matures, or is kind of supply and demand playing a role there as well?
Supply and demand will certainly play heavily, Anthony. For us, our grow in Ohio is a modest size grow, so we won't have the cultivation capacity to be initially be an expansive player in the wholesale market. We have actually our team has signed terrific supply arrangements to complement our Ohio grow, but to
Okay.
have enough product and enough diversity on our menus to to satisfy our customer needs in Ohio. So it's a market by market decision for us. As in Maryland is an excellent example,
Yeah.
and it's kind of it's the counterbalance to say a blossoming and beautiful wholesale market in the state of New Jersey for us, where we continue to
Yes.
expand. In Maryland, we went in with just the dispensaries. We've now signed two long-term supply agreements. I'll have more to say on the second one. Probably in our quarterly update in August, where we've identified and signed an arrangement with a partner who will cultivate and produce our branded products for us in
Yeah.
the Maryland market, which will be a wonderful addition to not only our menu but other stores' menus. And then we have a secondary supply arrangement where we've signed a multi-year agreement with a very well-known cultivation and production company in the state of Maryland. And we've now supplemented our menu with that. So we'll take a look at market by market where it makes sense. In Massachusetts, Illinois, New Jersey, these are very strong wholesale markets for us and will continue to be. In states like Maryland and Ohio, we will figure out the right balance of cultivation and production investment versus what we can source on the open market.
Mm-hmm. A lot at stake, I think, right now for the overall industry. But this Ohio story, I think, if we look back at now, could be the turning point for 2024. Well, I shouldn't say really the turning point, because we've got obviously news out of Washington pertaining to rescheduling. However, when you look at a lot of the low-hanging fruit, Ohio, Pennsylvania, a few other states, and rescheduling all combined here in the back end of 2024, we may look back at this and say Ohio is what got the ball rolling down the hill. And I think that's what a lot of investors want to see right now, especially you look at a lot of these growth states. Like, how do you see, I guess, this market kind of unfolding in the first year?
We're very bullish on Ohio. I think the strategy to enter Ohio, the timing of the investments we've made in Ohio. We just finished our fourth and fifth stores at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. So preparing those stores for the adult use. We've made investments to expand vault size. We've added additional technology. We're approved in most of the locations for kiosk shopping, which we know our customers love to do when they don't pre-order. So I think the timing is perfect, and I think not to rush things, but we're very excited about what we're hearing out of Pennsylvania. The governor there has been very very open with his support of moving adult use forward in the state. We are at 4 stores in Pennsylvania now. We have another one under construction. We have additional real estate work underway. So we are excited about all of this timing, the rescheduling that we think is imminent, the Ohio adult use, which we expect in the next couple of weeks, and then perhaps a year from now, at the most, hopefully, we'll be having the same conversation about the state of Pennsylvania, where we're already preparing for that eventual shift to adult use.
Speaking of Pennsylvania, and ahead of adult use, when you look at your footprint, what is what do you have a goal, or do you have a number in mind with the amount of dispensaries that you want to be at, let's say by year's end, as far as footprint expansion goes?
Yes, we said in our last quarterly update, Anthony, we said that we expect by the end of next year for our footprint to be 50% larger, and we were at 36 at the time. So 36 and 18, we can do the math together. We expect expect to be over 50 by the end of next year, and I think we're on track to meet or exceed that.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you see those strategically being in any markets? I know PA's got an 18 cap on retail. Michigan's unlimited. That's another strong market that you guys are in. Do you see any? Do you see any particular market going deeper in?
Our current focus and our top priority is the densification of our current markets, and whether it's in a state like New Jersey, where from a regulatory perspective we can take a 35% equity ownership in 7 additional stores. We're well down the path on that, and we include those 7 in our ambitions between now and the end of next year. And then in a state like Illinois, which is distinctly different. In Illinois, there is a 10 cap, and the regulators mean there's a 10 cap. But there are opportunities for us to support through a partnership, social equity operators, and we're well down the path there in the state of Illinois as well. In fact, our partner, our first partner in the state of Illinois, has opened their first 2 dispensaries, and we support them through a product relationship. We support them through an operational support and management agreement, and so we'll continue to expand our presence and our brands in that way as well.
Okay. You said 36 and 18. That's overall in the 7 markets, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. But look, like I can't help but feel that what's happening in Ohio is obviously having some sort of impact on Pennsylvania with a lot of these neighboring states. Do you not think that it's like they've been dancing around this topic for I don't know how many like years, but now that Ohio's gone live, like how much influence do you think it's having on Pennsylvania to get the ball rolling?
I think I'm probably reading some of the same things you guys are looking at on a daily basis. The legislators in Pennsylvania are talking about this every day. There's a discussion about what the timing might look like for bringing this bill to both the House and the Senate within the state. The governor's already multiple times articulated his support and the willingness to sign the bills. He feels that the state's been left behind. And I think that puts us in a great position to be prepared to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, look, I know you're in some key states. I know a lot of the retail community loves this story. So I think, you look at some of these stories and some of these companies that are involved in like these growth states, as I said earlier, like it really appears that we've got a lot of things that could all happen at once and happen in a hurry. You factor in Florida, Pennsylvania, at the same time, too, Ohio is set to go live. And we haven't brought up rescheduling news yet, but I know we get kind of tired and kind of like drained out when we bring up the whole Washington angle. But let's hopeful that we get a back end 2024 and really start to see some momentum in this space, because I know behind the scenes, and I'm sure you can probably agree with this, there's a lot of stuff that's going on right now that's keeping you guys pretty busy, right?
There is a lot going on. Our team is tremendously busy. We're focused on all of our markets. We're focused on delivering great customer experience day in and day out for our patients and our adult use customers. And we're working through our refi, which I know we'll catch up on another time. And all things positive there as we continue to march through the year.
Yeah. Well, I wanted this podcast to be about Ohio because I know there's imminent news about this to go live. So I hope it gives people just a better idea as to where you're positioned and angle within the market amongst your peers. And most importantly, best of luck in that market. And let's keep in touch.
Thank you both very much. Good to see you.
All right. Thanks, John. Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching our latest podcast. What'd you all think? Is there any information that we're missing? Is there anything you want us to cover? As these industries heat up, we're getting access to more and more big hosts. So let us know the questions that you want us to ask for you. As usual, smash that like button. We want this to go viral. Click on that bell for all notifications for the latest interviews that we're doing. And as usual, let's build this community. Subscribe to our channel because we appreciate it, because we wouldn't be here without you. Thanks for watching, everyone.